Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? It's Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, legionnaires, and new recruits. Glad you're here. Today we are going to be testing out the Takumitak Escort. This is a good-looking survival blade. We're going to put it to the test. Troops, what do you guys and gals got for your EDC today? Today I am carrying a fixie, my Watchman WF206. Check out the video of this little beast, hardcore. Veterans, active military, as always, I want to say thank you very much for your service. But this time I want to ask you guys and gals a question. Is this a good pilot's knife? Is it a good crew knife? I'm kind of curious to know what your opinion is. I can only test outdoors. I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts. All right, Legionnaires, let's go over some quick specs. We are looking at a full Tang blade with an overall length of 11 inches. Blade length is 5.5 inches. Handle length is 5.5 inches. Knife weight is 11 ounces. The blade shape is a drop point. It does have serrated edges, and then it has some sort of a sawback on this one. Blade material is D2 with a HRC of 61 to 62. Blade thickness, we are looking at 4.93 millimeters, which apparently tapers down to 4.1 millimeters. It is a flat grind, not hollow. Black stonewash, G10 scales, and black. It does come with a wonderful kydex, and it also comes in a satin finish. Let's do a close-up. Awesome. I have some great lighting. Let's check this out. Okay, beautifully done. Serrations, not my first time experiencing a test with serrations. I can't remember if I've ever done any knife with serrations, but we're going to test it out. All right, flat grind here, almost like a tracker knife. It does have a nice clip point, as you guys and gals can see. I'm not sure if that is considered a sawback, but I'm going to try making a notch with it. You know, even possibly seeing if it'll cut some kind of material, like a seat belt, you know. Maybe you're strapped in your pilot seat and you need to cut this for whatever reason. I'm kind of curious if it'll do that. I do have some material, and I'm going to test it out. All right. The serrations are pretty cool. They're aggressive. They look awesome. It does have a guard. All right. Done very nicely. Let's check out the other side. Just some very small lettering, which I'm sure could be blacked out if need be. It does come in a satin version, and I love the satin version. The handle is a coffin type handle, and it is very, very comfortable, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, no matter how I hold it, it feels good. I don't feel any hot spots. It might be a little thin, but I won't really know until I test it out. So right before I get started, I'm going to put a lanyard on here just in case. And I'm going to try and treat this as a regular knife, you know, doing the chopping, batoning, feather sticks, etc. You know, just if it was like a regular knife. So we'll see how it holds up. I'm kind of curious to see if these teeth hold up. I'm kind of curious to see how that sawback cuts for a notch or two. And of course, I cannot forget about the sheath. It's a beautiful pancake style sheath. Plenty of rivet holes, plenty of latching options over here. It does come with a Chinese tech lock where this opens up. You press the two tabs and she opens. Okay, you have tabs here that can be completely removed for your belt depending on the size of the belt, or you can configure this to make it smaller or bigger for the size of your belt. Upright or scout carry is possible with this particular sheath and tech lock. Let's pop this knife in real quick. All right, there you go. Just a beautiful package. Now, let's get to work. All right, troops, I got a rough looking log over here. No matter, it's just to chop and test it out. Now, I'm going to be using the teeth to do some chopping. I want to see how it comes out. I did put a lanyard on here, give myself some better leverage. Let's go. As always, Takumitak, I can attest to the fact that their knives are always sharp out of the box. The teeth on these are really sharp. The clip point forward area is really sharp over here. The handle so far, even though it's a little on the thin side, feels pretty good. We're doing good so far. All right. And I'm assuming, you know, if you need this in a survival situation, it'll work out. Oh, she's biting in for sure. You know, this is not a small log that I'm working on. Yeah, I mean, really good. The contouring on the handle is nice. You know, you get a decent grip over here. It does help though that I have the lanyard, no doubt about it. All right, let's keep on going. All right, I am using the teeth, and then we're going to look at them together and see how they hold up. And from past experience in testing out Takumitak knives, they have a good heat treat. Now, somebody asked me if I would pry with these knives. I don't know if these are made to pry, maybe some light prying, but I mean, I wouldn't be opening up a door or anything like that. I actually carry a small pry bar in my backpack, but you know, I don't know if any knife is worth prying with. In any case, let's keep moving on. All right, I'm going to use every part of the blade, including the teeth. And I mean, look, it's doing some work. All right. I really can't say this is a tracker. Kind of looks like a tracker a little bit. I am using every part of the blade again, but you know, this is the front part, and I'm kind of actually doing better chopping with the teeth, believe it or not. Okay. Just make sure I'm not too far off. Wow, look at those chunks coming off. That's great. Well, definitely bite. Wow, did you see that, troops? Definitely biting in. Wow, this is good. Look at that. Give you a little bit of an angle. Okay. I mean, the teeth are looking good so far. Let's keep going. Nice. Look at that big piece that just came out, you know? We use the front part. I mean, that's a lot of chunk coming out. We're almost through, troops. Not bad. All right, now I'm using the front part, and it is biting in. I got to be honest with you, I was a little nervous testing this out because I am not experienced using a knife with serrated teeth, you know? I'm looking at the teeth right now, troops, and I'll do a close-up in a second. I don't see anything breaking. And again, with the experience with the Takumitak, here we go, look at that. With experience with the Takumitak, their heat treat is spot on, so there we go. All right, kind of a gnarly looking piece of wood, but she did it, man. Look at that. Now, while I have you on the camera, all right, I want to show you the teeth on there. Check it out, okay? Teeth are looking good. Nothing broke off. So I'm right now I'm pretty impressed, but let's see what batoning will take us. Well, chopping worked out real well. Now let's do some batoning, and I'm going to use the whole blade to baton this weird looking piece of wood, man. So let's give it a try. I'll make sure I got a good angle for you guys and gals, right up to where the choil is. It's already biting in. Okay, it did go through. Let's keep going. As far as I'm concerned, it's definitely biting in there. It's in there, you know. It's a heavy duty piece of wood. And so far, these teeth, they look okay. Yeah, so far so good. Let me just turn this around a little bit. Do a little bit different angle. Now I'm going all out on this, so as you can see, it's splitting. All right. Beautiful thing is wow, that is stuck on there real good. Beautiful thing is I don't need any gloves yet, so looking good, man. I mean, just some wood in the teeth over here, but nothing that I could see that is broken. Yeah, okay, let me keep on going, you know. just my baton is getting busted up. All right, you can see it's starting to split. I just might have to, go back a little bit on some areas, so be patient. And we will get this done and split for sure. All right. It does have a protruding Tang, so, I could, let's see. I'm going to use some of the rear part of this blade. All right. I'm definitely, oh, look, I made a dent in here with the guard. And here's some of the teeth that's protruding. So far, so good. You can see the split. And it's coming out the other end. So I know a lot of you are not familiar with Takumitak. But I got to tell you, my experience with these knives have been very, very positive, That's split. Let's see if we can get this done. It's a good test. All right, look at that. We're looking right through the wood now. It's a weird piece of wood. It's one of the reasons why I chose it. Ooh, a little bit of hand shock though, A little bit of hand shock. I am hitting this pretty hard. Okay, I'm just seeing where the fibers are. You know what, while I'm here, let me just keep on bashing. All right, good. Not holding back. Not holding back. And we're going to keep on going. I mean, just a lot of wood over here. I don't know. Looking good so far. I mean, let's see. Here's a little prying of the wood. Let's see what it does. There you go. All right, cool. I mean, again, I don't know. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's cutting. I mean, it's still cutting stuff. Let me see. All right, good, good. So the clip point portion of the blade looks to be doing okay. Taking off bark. So just to let you know, troops, this is very new to me, these serrations. If this wasn't serrated, I'd be flying through this, but I'm learning. But as you can see, I mean, look at that. Took down this little log over here. Maybe I'll just split this real quick. Do quarters. Actually, I'll do the thicker piece. A lot of knots and stuff in this one. I do feel a little hand shock, and I don't know if that's because of the thin handles. Not that it's not comfortable, it's doing the job. But I do feel a little hand shock, so maybe a glove is a good idea. But I'm not going to use a glove because I really don't need it. Look at that, right through. Excellent, all right. Every time I use Takumitak knives, I am really impressed with them. And so far, so good. All right. Let me know in the comments if any of you took advantage of that, that 20% sale from Takumitak. Let me. Okay, now while I've got this almost split, let's do a little rest vertical. Great. All right, cool, man. I mean, this is a real gnarly piece of wood right here. I don't know if I could really make feather sticks or not, but I've got another stick that we're going to test out for feather sticks. So let me get that out. But as far as I'm concerned, the batoning vertical and horizontal did fine. The knife looks good to me. The teeth look, they're aggressive still. And still sharp over here. Okay, you can see some curls. I know it's just a small piece of the blade, but it is still curling. You know what? Let me get a better piece made for feather sticks, and we'll give it a test. I got a nice little stick over here. Let's make some feather sticks. Let's make halves first. All right. You can see it's doing it without a problem, so the control is there. All right, good. Check it out. I got the halves here. Let's make quarters. All right. Make sure that you all see. I like the taking the clip point on a bit of an angle, and then just chopping right through or batoning right through. Just giving it a good old beating, All right, excellent. So, all right, let's try the serration. I'm kind of curious if it'll get rid of the bark. Yeah, all right. Not as efficient as a, flat edge blade, but it's doing it. Let me see the front part. Yeah, it's doing it. We're looking good so far. In a survival situation. All right, let's see if I could just make, oh, nice, look at that. It is making curls. So the teeth, I'm getting in between the wood right here, as you could see, and it's just making some really nice feathers. Wow, look at that. It's even shredding them a little bit, a little bit more fibrous. That's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? Let's see with those teeth over here if it'll make the some shreds or some fluff, some wood fluff. A little bit. Oh yeah, here, look. I might take a little bit of work. Oh, there's some wood stuck in here. All right. Just get this piece of wood out and try it again. Just curious. This is a whole new learning curve for me, this knife, And it is making some fluff right here. It might take you a little bit of time. As you can see, it's doing it. All right. Made some curls, made some fluff. Let's see if I can make a little bit better feather stick here. But I am learning that this knife is pretty badass. So at least the serrations are still sharp after all that abuse that I just did with batoning and stuff like that. She's doing it. I am both surprised and impressed. That's pretty cool. I'm going to try a different area of the teeth, the serrations. Look, it's not pretty, but it still did the job, and I guess in an emergency or survival situation, it'll do. So I'm kind of curious if this, if a pilot would take something like this into his airplane or his cockpit and just keep it on the side, or if an air crew of some sort, whether it's a helicopter, an AC-130 gunship or whatever. This screams to me military use, you know what I mean? So I was speaking to my good buddy Isaac of Isaac's Knives and Knowledge, and he said that these serrations reminded him of, the Ontario pilot knife. So I'm like, well, you know what? Let me appeal to, the airmen out there. So we're going to test this out. I want to see if it does make notches. And but as far as feather sticks go, again, not pretty, but she's doing the job. I'm surprised. Made some fluff. It might take a little bit of time, but it made the fluff. You know what I want to do before we move on? I want to test the tip. Maybe just split one of these knives. I'm sorry, split one of these pieces of wood with the tip. Curious. Yeah, okay, good. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. It did split it. Now there we go. I am prying it with the wood. I'm just using the tip to split this piece of wood. As you can see, I'm going 90 degrees. So there we go. That was pretty cool. All right, this is interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's making a little fluff. Worst comes to worst, you needed to do it. It might take a little bit longer, with these serrations over here on the back, but yeah, check it out. It's doing it. So that's cool, man. All right, let's move on to another test. All right, got a nice little branch. Kind of curious to see how this is going to do. Right straight through with the clip point. Now I've got some meat over here, so I'm going to use. That worked. Let me pick that up. Keep on going. I'll pick those up in a second. That's looking good. Let me do the very forward part. Good. Very rear part, right before the serrations. Now I'm going to do the serrations. Why not? I'm going to give it a go. Wow, that worked. Okay, I don't even know where that piece of wood went. Let me find it and move on. Okay, I think that's pretty good. You know what? While we're here, let me do it again. Let me do the rear part. Well, the handle's in the way. The guard, I mean, but the guard is in the way. That's why I couldn't finish it. So let's just finish it up maybe in the forward part. All right, I'll pick those pieces up. We'll take a look, and then we'll continue from there. As you can see, Legionnaires, just an example. I picked up those pieces, but, they baton right through those sticks. Now, I'm kind of curious to test out that serrated area over here. I want to make a notch. Now, one thing I did notice is that this fills up with wood real quick. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. If you keep on using it, if it gets, the holes get filled in or the serrations get filled in and then they don't work as effectively, but I'm going to give it a try, So let's see. Let's give it a go. Make sure you guys and gals can see. It's digging in. Maybe I have to get more of an angle. Again, I'm not very familiar with this type of serrations, and maybe if you're in the military and you do know, or somebody knows what these are for. I don't even know if I'm doing this right, but it's making a notch. Okay, it's slight, but it's making a notch. But I think, to be quite honest, I would rather baton the notch and then use it to use my thumb to make the number 7 or those other type of notches here. But I guess, troops, it's a good start. It's a good start to something. But yeah, I mean, it's I can't deny to you that it's not working. It's working. It's doing the job. Not as effective, I think, in my opinion. But again, maybe there's another reason. I mean, do you punch through the aluminum in a helicopter and maybe cut it? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm kind of thinking military with this one. But let's try the serrations. I'm serrated edge. Let's see. That'll make a notch. I mean, it's cutting. I mean, don't expect me to go through the whole piece of wood, but okay, it made a notch. So let's see. All right, just an example, just a quick example. I know that this is going to be long, but I wanted to show you guys and gals that I guess it's doable. The serrations. Quick notch, just a quick notch, troops. Nothing big deal here. But I think, in my opinion, that this did better than this. But then again, I don't know if I'm using this right or wrong. Still seemed to be effective. So now, I'm kind of curious. I have a little of this seatbelt material. I'm wondering if this is, used to cut the material. I don't know. I don't think so. But I figure I could try. It's not like it's smooth. It's a smooth cut. So let's see now the serrations. Oh, wow. That went right through. Yeah, okay. Somebody with experience, please tell me what this is all about, so I just want to get it right. I don't want to misinform anybody. But I got to tell you, I do like this knife. It's doing the work. It's doing the job. And, it's still sharp. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. All right, it's cutting the seatbelt material. All right, let's use this tip over here to get a little bit more specific. Just want to make sure that I'm not in your way. All right, so yeah, man, I mean, look at that. All right, it did it. I'm real curious about this other stuff. Let me see now that I got it started. No, you see, it's not gliding right through. So, and I even cut myself, damn it, on these sharp teeth. That's how sharp this still is after all that brutal batoning. Let's see. All right, I mean, look, somebody tell me what these are for, but it's working. It's working. So I'm pretty happy, troops, man. I think this knife did a lot of work. It did surprise me. And I'm good to go with this, man. I would definitely take this into the woods. All right, Legionnaires, I got to tell you, I am pretty happy with this knife. I'm actually pretty impressed too, I didn't know what to expect, and it taught me a lot. And I'll tell you what, man, those serrations, they're not bullshit. I mean, I did cut myself with some, light pressure on these teeth over here. So it did a good job. Now, there's one thing I want to test real quick is, the ferro rod here, I don't know if pilots or, air crew have something like this to start up fires, but, let's, I'm kind of curious. Let's give it a go. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, so that's a good use of this. Serrations here on the rear. So it's definitely sparking, which is good. Now, this is one thing I kind of want to show you guys and gals, what I was talking about. So when I was trying to make the notch, you see how these slits here, they fill in real quick with the wood, and now it's real smooth. So again, I apologize. I really don't know what the purpose of this is in a military type environment. I thought it was some kind of a saw, notching, but if somebody could let me know, I'd appreciate it. However, it's not a deal breaker, troops. This knife kicked some serious ass right now, so I love it. It could strike a ferro rod, I mean, not only did it feather, but it looked like it was shredded. It's like little pieces of wood just sticking out all over the feathers. Maybe it might help with fire starting. You know, it did make some fluff here, so I guarantee you with fat wood, you know, it'll do the job. The feathering was a big surprise, and then now the individual curls, big surprise. I'm digging this knife. This knife proved itself. You know, if you like this type of design, I say go for it. I mean, it went through this. It went through this gnarly looking log. It notched. The serrations are, you know, the teeth here are good, and they were functional to make a notch. Um, they went right through, you know, the piece of wood here, the stick, when I batoned it. I think there's nothing wrong with this knife. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed using it. And I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys and gals think. All right, great. Thank you very much, troops. I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch my videos. Again, let me know in the comments below what you think about this knife. I like it. I think it's completely and totally functional as a survival knife. And I'm glad I was able to show you how this functioned. All right, troops, I want to bring awareness to everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military that once they get out of service, they do face a lot of challenges. And unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides, check out the phone numbers, check out the websites, read a heartfelt message of one of your own warriors, Martin Miller, U.S. veteran from Vietnam, 66 to 69. He has a heartfelt message for you guys and gals. Please seek the help that you have all earned and deserved. All right, troops, legionnaires, and new recruits, at the ready, troops, hold the line. Take care. Legionnaires!